शर्ट किसमें उतरेगी सर, शर्ट किसमें उतरेगी? अच्छा उसमें ये वाला कर लेता हूँ सर. I meet people at parties. Vidyut, what protein are you having? No, that's not how you break ice. Like, there's so much more than just protein shakes. You know, saying, hey, Vidyut, how many hours do you work out for? I love very heavy people, but people don't like them. They think they're fat, but I love them because they're always smiley. They're always happy. They're much more kind than the rest of the 8-pack abs and 6-pack ab people. नहीं, this is still okay. विद्युत, एक बार शर्ट तो उतारनी पड़ेगी यार. तुम्हारी बहन मर गई और सीन में तुम्हारे कपड़े गिर चुके हैं. मैंने कहा, sir, what are you doing, dude? When the right time is there, the whole country stands up for you because enough is enough, and things are good. Yeah, everybody wants a change. The change is happening.
Guys, this is PeepingMoon.com, and today we have with us, how should I put it? The one who is in the list of the 10 people you don't want to mess with. But I am ready here. Tell me, Vidyut Jammwal, why we can't mess with you?
No, I'm not the one who made the list. So the people who made the list would know better.
But then what was your first reaction when you got something of that sort?
No, my first reaction was no reaction. So I went through this list and it had flashed on my social media. And I saw this first really a monstrosity of a man standing bang against another robot. And I was petrified. I was like, dude, this list would have like really scary people. And I passed it. And 3 days later, I got a message from my fan page saying, so congratulations, you're a part of the list. So I quickly went through the list, and there were these like really great luminaries of different forms. And I was quite happy. Then the first call I did was I called up my mom and I said, Mom, now you have to stop telling me I've lost weight. You're looking so weak. You're so thin. Please read this list. So she was happy. And that's how it was.
But even with the compliments comes with the real struggle. When we talk about a fit body, a fit mind, and especially in times of lockdown, was it difficult to be on the same page, like, with the limited access to how you perceived, the way you were looked at on screen, and to maintain that kind of physique? Was it difficult for you, or has it been still the difficult task for you?
No, for me, physique is fine because you don't need to have like 8-pack abs throughout the year, or you just don't need to look in a particular way. For me, it was a great time for me to experience and enjoy every other ability that my body had. And I went through all of it. I enjoyed from my lymphatic system to my respiratory, to my digestive, to my lymphatic. In Kalarippayattu, there are different forms, the neuromuscular, the skeletal. I studied on all of them, and I just realized there was so much more to do apart from just muscle building, which I gave enough time to. So I was quite happy.
But do you realize, Vidyut, we are in a profession where the vanity of it, how you look, is paramount. Because I have heard you in your couple of interviews where you always focus that it's just not about, the way I look. There is a lot of mental strength which also involves in the way you're supposed to look per se, or your body is supposed to be like. So do you think the vanity sometimes overshadows the main motive behind, I would say, this?
No, for me, the thing here is that I operate from a very different mechanism within me. I don't operate from the whole thing that I need to look good. Since I was growing up, I was always an athlete. So for me to be the best at what I was doing physically and mentally was the prime important thing. And so it's still stuck by me. And I think for me to be mentally or physically in an agile place is what I really like to be. It's not how I look, because I love very heavy people, but people don't like them. They think they're fat, but I love them because they're always smiley. They're always happy. They're much more kind than the rest of the 8-pack abs and 6-pack ab people, or like the perfectly toned people. I like people who are really like not the regular beauty. They could be very short. I really love people because they have so much to offer. They have kindness. So for me, whether an actor or not an actor, the thing here is that how happy are you with the way you look and the way you are? And so I think that reflects in my movies too. I don't really think too much about how I'm looking. I need to feel good.
So we'll come to the movie first. We'll take this ahead later. Khuda Haafiz is going to stream on Hotstar, and it's Independence Day release. We should put it that way. How is it this entire new phenomena when people are saying like, oh, it's a digital medium? Like, what was your first reaction? Because of course there must be a certain apprehensive. You are ultimately a silver screen star. So was it like, I'm going on OTT, or you were happy?
No, like, I said it to you before that I work on a very different operating system. For me, because I'm not from the city of Mumbai, I come from outside, and everything that happened to me, I was celebrating it as if like this is like nothing can get better than this. From the first time I bought a big television set, to I got a mithai ka dabba and I gave it to all my friends. They're like, dude.
Oh, sweet.
So for me, everything has been a first time, and everything that I've done first. Like I was the first Indian ever to play a bad guy and get the film for best debut. So I just don't follow the regular paradigms. Like if I start blowing my own trumpet, I've done a lot of firsts. So for me, it's quite a great honor to be the first of the big films on OTT because I have a great belief that the future's here and it's going to be very pleasant. So I'm going with that thought process, and I have a feeling the whole nation will watch it. The whole world will watch it. People who've not watched my movies but just have heard about me, they will enjoy quite a spectacle.
The trailer looks promising, but towards the end of it, again, there's this Vidyut which we have. Now we know what to somewhere expect, like the blowing cars and you smashing heads as if it's like nothing. Tell me, Vidyut, when you do the kind of action or when any script, has it ever happened to you that a script has come to you, something maybe very sweet, nice, romantic? Even you also have Yara, meanwhile, in between happening. Does it happen that director says एक action sequence to Vidyut, like just one for you? Has it ever happened? You have to be like, no.
नहीं, this is still okay. विद्युत एक बार शर्ट तो उतारनी पड़ेगी यार. तुम्हारी बहन मर गई और सीन में तुम्हारे कपड़े गिर चुके हैं. मैंने कहा सर व्हाट आर यू डूइंग डूड. So like there are people like action तो है ये कपड़े उतार दो विद्युत के यार कहीं से. विद्युत तुम सो के उठे हो मगर तुमने कुछ पहना नहीं है टी शर्ट. मैंने कहा सर नहीं यार ऐसा नहीं होता है. So the other side is much more fun for me than the action. Take your clothes off.
I'll ask you something. When was the first time you were asked to like remove your shirt and do this entire hot shot body shot? Was there like and since then to now, I think we are used to seeing you that way. But what was your first time when someone told you you have to remove your shirt?
That was when I was, I think, about 5 years old, and I've grown up in an ashram, and I've learned the authentic kalari pipe. We wear these in English. You could call it a thong, and it's quite well tied around you so that you don't get any ailments. So I'm used to being without clothes. I'm comfortable with my body, whether I was thin or very muscular. I realized very early that if you can spend time with yourself without clothes, sometimes whether you're in your house or in front of the mirror and you start falling in love with yourself, you don't feel shy about all these things. You could be in any form. I know, see, my experience of this film industry has been very different. So when I met the people who I thought were really big stars or really beautiful people, when I saw them spending so much time in front of the mirror, I used to wonder, do these guys also need to do this? Like so much time. So when you asked me about the looks, and this is the second question I'm going back to, it really made me wonder that, oh my God, what's the use of being so beautiful and you're so stressed about how you're looking? Like I would just, if I was that good looking. Uh,
I get the drift of it. I get that. But yeah, this is a very hilarious one. Like, if directors are coming up to you to remove your shirt, I think I'll take a note of it. Like, irrespective with
what
your.
people need, like, so sum it up, honestly, people need to be comfortable with themselves. It doesn't matter because I know very good looking people who are not comfortable with themselves. And I know people who are normally heavier than normal people and they're so cool and they're so happy and they don't care. They just want to, like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Um, Allow me to ask you, Vidyut, and you are free to not answer because I don't want to ask
I will answer.
in a bad light. When you brought out a tweet where you pointed out that why a certain film or a certain actor is not invited to a certain platform to promote, a film, uh, is it also a way to just put light on some practices which we very conveniently just tend to ignore? What exactly went behind when you were putting out that? Because soon after Kunal Kemu, he was equally supportive of it, and since then it's just not about your tweet anymore. There have been multiple incidents which have been coming out, and people are talking about it, that how difficult it is at times, even if you're a good performer, uh, to put yourself out and say that, hey, you gotta look at our work as well?
So what's the question?
Like, what was your thought? Simple.
So no thought. No thought. I woke up in the morning and I read this whole announcement, and whilst I was looking at the phone, my mind asked me, like, how come you're not there? And I heard myself ask myself this question, and I just put it exactly the way it was. What I wrote was what I was thinking, and the moment I tweeted it, my manager called me and he said, "Sir, you just tweeted something." So like, yeah. So that's how it started. I didn't think so much about it, and I'm so glad that I tweeted it because I don't want an answer from the Disney, or it was just my thought which I really wrote it down. But for me, it was such a great, it was a great experience that the whole nation stood up for me, and they realized that, you know, I was not wrong, and it was quite a good feeling. You feel blessed when people start supporting you for what something you've said, and which is not. It feels very nice when everybody supports you and they say that you've done the right thing.
Yeah, because normally what happens is more than backlash, because we monitor it. There was huge amount of support from within the
Mm.
industry as well, where people spoke about it, that how important it is to give the due credit when it's needed. You just not every time can't rob someone of a certain credit just because put in the parameter of someone is a star or a superstar.
No, yeah, I've seen kya hai, it's not about to rob. The thing is, don't make somebody feel invisible. And I've been saying this, like, when you're sitting in the car and the beggar comes and knocks at the window and you don't even look at them. And I always wonder when I see people, I wonder that what would this guy be thinking? I know they really irritate because they like cut, 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 cut. They do that, they do bother you, but at least look at them and just say go. Because I watch people, they don't even look at them. And so what they do, what you're talking about right now, is not about robbing. The thought is about not. They make you feel invisible, as if you just don't exist. Like I have, in the last 2 years, I've got India like on the world platform thrice, and for like the most prestigious awards, and nobody acknowledges it over here. But I don't give it a thought because I'm used to it. I come from a place where we don't get acknowledged. Like it's not so easy to be acknowledged. But when the right time is there, the whole country stands up for you because enough is enough, and things are good there. Everybody wants a change. The change is happening.
And I think the change has to start from within, like from the very first base of the industry itself, that everyone, even amongst their peers, have to start acknowledging that yes, it is.
Now, yeah, people. The thing is, I genuinely believe that people should appreciation. People talk about being grateful and people talk about gratitude, but they don't display it at all. I hear people talk about it. They don't. Gratitude is not just saying thank you for what you've got, thank you for what you witnessed, also what you've watched, but they don't do that gratitude. Thank you, I got 1 crore rupees. Thank you. But no, what about celebrating somebody else's 50 crores? So I'm saying gratitude is also quite limited. We need to go more out there and
Yeah,
just
we
be
need
more
to be
grateful for
more
everybody and everything.
out and about it, as everyone
No,
says.
really, I've been reading about global warming. I've been hearing a bit about it for the past 15 years that the snow is melting and blah, 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 blah. Nobody's doing anything about it, but everybody's talking about it. And then comes the virus.
And then
So
every
if you don't change yourself, yeah, if you don't change yourself, nature will change you.
And coming to nature, you are the country boy. You, I love your YouTube. It's so amazing. If anyone will go through it, they will never realize that we have this quintessential Bollywood star, and this is certainly a different image. Like you are all out in mud, soaking yourself, plowing the fields. What is it? What is this image of yours? From where this thing came out?
No, this is me. My father was in the army. I've lived in such small cities, people would not even know the name. Like I've lived in Doaba, which is in Azampur, which is in Jalandhar, and it's a farming land. And I've grown up. I've gone to school with kids who used to go farming after school. So for me, the whole idea was finish school, Sardarji ke saath jao unke, like you go with them on the tractors, eat like a wholesome meal. So I've grown up doing this, and I realized that it's the best feeling when you can just To be with nature is the most important thing anybody can do to themselves. You can earn zillions of rupees, but once you spend time with nature, you are thanking yourself.
I agree because from I think there's so much beauty, not in the sense of scenic, but you can it
Yeah.
radiates from your video. Like there is so much of love oozing out whenever you are with all the
No.
animals out there. It's like, because I remember when your film Jungli came out at that time also. I'm like, when we were looking at the trailer, like this looks like tailor made for him. Like he's so happy in the space. This is like
Hmm.
such a happy space for him. It's evident. I
No,
have
I really enjoyed. I really bless everybody that I hope they get to spend some time somewhere in the countryside. People need to stop going to only Paris and Italy. They need to go to India and they need to see the beauty our country has. I personally believe people who are not from Bombay and they believe that they'll come to Bombay, do a acting class and blah blah blah, and then they'll become actors. I think they need to just take a car, get onto a bus and travel India. Once you do that whole thing, you will be an actor. You will know everything. You will know how to be with people. You'll know how to be with other creatures. You'll know how to respect. So,
Okay, one thing with this which has when if you're in Bollywood, you have to deal with it sort of thing. From modeling to Bollywood, is you're good looking, you're desirable. Who's the one you are dating? I need to ask why because I'm so tired. The moment I open your page, there are innumerable link ups which I don't find any substance to. That one day I heard this actress name and that actress. I'm like,
hmm.
but why hasn't he ever addressed anything? You're always so quiet, always so mum about when it comes to Vidyut being linked by X and Y. What is it?
So what is the question?
Like, what is it? What is this with your love life? You never talk about it, but everyone talks about it.
I like it. I really enjoy reading about anybody I meet. It could be anybody, and they start writing about it. Quite cool. I always wanted to be in this space. When I used to read about people, I used to think, how cool is this dude, man? When does he get the time to make a body like that when he's dating so many girls? And now I'm that person. I have to tell you, it's quite different, the story. It's not what they always read.
I like that. When do you have the time to make that kind of body? Of course, you're in the busy dating profile because they were like,
Yeah, people ask me, honestly, people ask me. So I was in the top martial artist list last year, and so I'm doing this show called X-Raid, and one of the
yeah,
actors asked me this was
I'm
offering.
coming
He's
to
like,
that.
dude, you've got so, dude, if I was on your list, la, 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 something about girls. I was like, dude, if you were on my list, would have no time to be with any girl. But I have a lot of time.
Now this is something we have to figure out in between. Like, where exactly is the time you're talking about?
What I mean to say is that I can manage time. There's no such thing as time.
So Vidya is not revealing who Vidya is seeing right now. We'll leave it up to that.
No, I don't. No, not that. I just don't want to tell you
Oh, that's it.
politely.
I'll keep to that. Okay, Vidya. Coming back,
Politely.
coming back to work. Two different genres. Yara, Khuda Haafiz, totally different. Totally. And the best part is both we have on OTT. It's going to be like for viewership for everyone, audience out there. Are you going to miss the box office jitters? Like, this Friday feeling that, oh my God, box office numbers, what will people say? Or do you think this is more of a relaxed place where you can let the people watch it at their own good pace and give out a verdict with time?
Yeah, I'm thoda na yaar, dude. I'm so happy in life that so much thinking is not happening in my life. Like, honestly, I like,
You're my first
seriously,
interview in so many months where someone is
huh?
so content. You're not like, just, oh God, this is happening, that is happening. Everyone else is like,
No, yaar, life,
this, that.
no, honestly, when you decide, know that, like, that the life is giving you more than what you deserve and you have asked for, I realize that it starts giving you more. So it's better to be like choosy. Hey, I want 500 crores. You'll get it. If you say, I like whatever comes, then you get abundance, thousands, 2,000, and you're like, dude, it's better to be ambitious than not being ambitious. No, seriously, my journey from playing imperceptible roles in South movies where I was not even the main villain to being called as one of the most like tarara people in the world, it's quite a journey. I didn't ask for it. I didn't have an ambition. The only thing I was doing constantly was constantly working towards being the perfect being. And I think it's made me reach somewhere.
But do you think with you, you're trapped
I
in?
just want to, Sorry, just some
Yeah.
call. But before we go further in this conversation, because you had a beautifully smiling face throughout the conversation, I just want to say sorry to you when I said that I don't want to tell you. Means I'm talking about the audience. I don't want to tell you right now. So it was not personally on you. Great respect. I just want you to know
I
this.
get it, trust me. I totally get it. But Vidut, I genuinely believe that sometimes don't we limit an actor to a certain genre just because he or she is good at it?
Who's we?
Like maybe as an audience we also turn a blind eye that, oh, we only want to see Vidyut in an action, format, or maybe as a producer or a director. Of course I can't speak in that capacity, but Vidyut as an action star, do you think it limits your horizon when it comes to acting or exploring more roles? You're just limited to that one particular division?
You cannot contain the container, so I can't be limited. I'm talking about me on my personal behalf. How? There's so much to do, there's so much to be done, and I'm doing it. Khuda Haafiz is a complete switch from the being I am. It's a story of a man who fights till death to get his wife back.
Right.
Every human being would do it. Mother or sister, we would do it, right? But the different thing is that it's a story, it's a true story, and it's a story of this guy who's never fought in his life. So for me to completely disable those switches of
And to make it look
two,
natural.
so I had to really unlearn everything I know, like everything from the way somebody would hit me and I would block. Like the problem used to be the retakes were like, oh no, Vidyut, it looks like a train hit. I was like, dude, he's gonna really hit me. These guys are trained. So then something like that. But for me, so no limitation. Yeah, when the right time comes, no, it just opens up, and when it opens up, you have to be ready for it.
So is there a role which you're really looking forward to? Like a part you want to play? Like there are actors who are dying to maybe do a biopic. What about you? You there's something you want to do. There must be something you're yearning for.
Excellence. It could come in any form. I don't have an ambition. I came to Mumbai with a dream to do something with action because I'm a custodian. What a use movie. I'm a custodian of the oldest martial art in the world called Kalari fight.
Oh.
And for me, it's the biggest ambition. I didn't care whether I was playing a small role or a big role. I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to do it right. And life took me from there to here. And I promise you, there's no bigger achievement for me when, apart from when people tell me that, oh, Vidyut, Kalari fight. Like I got an award last year from Jackie Chan. And for me, it was a great honor. When he called me on stage, he hugged me and he said, Indian martial art exponent, Vidyut Jammwal, Kalari fight. I was like, oh my God. So, not speaking in circumlocutions, I haven't thought of anything. I didn't think of Yara. I didn't think of Khuda Haafiz. It just happened and it just happened.
So how do you pick your paths with you? Then I can ask at least this, if nothing else. What exactly is your trigger? Your kick point. I should be asking. Like when something comes to.
शर्ट किस में उतरेगी सर शर्ट किस में उतरेगी अच्छा उसमें ये वाला कर लेता हूँ सर
Whether my headline is going
that's
to
what
be
the
shirt किस में
that's
उतरेगी. Your interview is going to have a
no
headline, shirt किस में उतरेगी.
no but do you know what I'm saying, like it's an assumption. Like I meet people at parties, Vidyut, what protein are you having? No, that's not how you break ice. Like there's so much more than just protein shakes. Saying, hey Vidyut, how many hours do you work out for? Like, you know what I'm saying? So
I think the most sought after role for you would be imagining you with Jackie Chan in a film. That would be the kind of thing maybe which where you can say.
No, but I would love to. I would love to do a comedy. I love, like, as a being, I really enjoy the comic side of me. People don't because they can't mess with me. But officially,
I think I'm looking forward.
no, but
like that will be one time when no one will be asking you to take off the shirts and show those and make everyone laugh with that. So lastly, Vidyut, I have taken so much of your time and you've made me laugh so much.
I enjoyed it.
You have made me laugh. I'm taking the last question with you. Tell me, Vidyut, you have been the part of the glamour industry more or less 2 decades. Yeah, Glad Drag was 2000 if I'm not wrong. Yeah,
Hmm.
20 years, and out of which 10 to 11 years you have been part of the films, be it down south, be it Bollywood. So I would rather call it a pan-Indian artist approach
Hmm.
of yours.
I got lucky.
You got lucky. But with it, how you will, I know it's just a phase in your life, as you have very uh, properly told me, but how will you put it up? How will you sum up your journey if someone asks you? Journey in the first phase. There is more to come. Let me tell you. I'm really looking forward to more. But how will you sum up these 20 years? Because 20 years is monumental.
Dude, first things first, I'm gonna tell you, please take 2 minutes extra for the interview. I need to say something.
Go on.
You are really kind. Number one, thank you for your kindness. Number one, it's a rare acquisition that people have. Really, quite cool. अरे लड़की तुम बहुत सही हो यार. Please interview me more. I like this. Okay, go ahead. I can't take 2 minutes now.
Okay, I'll just simply ask 20 years. I would say the first
It's
leg of
been
your career, because there's more to come, of course. But how you will sum it, as you have said it so many times in this last course of few minutes, you have come from a place where films were not like, you know, ऐसा नहीं था कि actor ही बनना है, actor बने. You are so grateful for everything which has come your way. But how will you, as Vidyut, some 20 years in entertainment, a very tough profession to survive after all?
not really, but the thing here is, if I sum up my journey in the next 30 seconds or 1 minute, it will be a sin and it will be a crime to sum it up. It can't be summed up in these small little words. Really, the journey is so incredible, overwhelming, inspirational, spiritually taking me into an inward journey that if I sum it up, it will be such a crime on my journey. Really, it's been incredible. And my secret that I realized, uh, I'll give you an embellishment apart from summing it up, is that if you rejoice in others' successes, there will be so much more for you. I swear, when I told you about your kindness, be happy, dude. It will come to you in abundance. Whatever I have looked back, when I look back in the last 20 years, when I was a model, and the senior models girls used to come running after them to get pictures clicked after Fashion Week. I used to not be envious. I used to be like, my God, how cool would that be, dude? So I was like I was rejoicing in their success. And like, for example, Vijay Verma had said in an interview recently that if you really from like, when I met him on the set, and he's quite a cool dude, and I looked at him, he's really a nice guy, and I looked at him the second day on the set, and I was like, यार Vijay Verma, तुम बहुत बड़े स्टार बनोगे यार. So like, अरे नहीं यार, बहुत मुश्किल है. He's chaplus. So I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, meant it, and I was the first guy who called him when I watched Gully Boy, and I was the first guy when I was overwhelmed. And this kind of happiness, if you can display towards everybody from within, and you imbibe this habit, I promise you, you will not be able to sum up your journey. It will be so incredible.
That's so sweet. But Vidyut, thank you so much. I would say this is just the beginning. There's more to come. Hope to interview even more. Get some more juicy lineup as well. So every time I can get on a call, then we can take this kindness conversation ahead. Definitely, for sure.
No, we can talk about protein shakes. We can talk about push-ups and dumbbells. I'm used to it.
You have already
the regular questions.
You have given me the headline of removing the shirt. I am done for the day. But thank you, Vidyut, for your time. It was really lovely talking to you. Wishing you all the best for both the films. And we hope to see more of you abroad, international, national, but definitely in films, always.
Thank you. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.